VegasNonStop with Jonathan Stop.
And that would be me.
That right?
I know it kind of rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Thank you, Tetyana. And we are at Great American Pub on Eastern and Serene here in beautiful Henderson, Nevada, which is kind of a suburb of Las Vegas if you're not local here. And our guest is Adrian Tonight.
I'm on Welcome to Nonstop.
Hey, welcome to Vegas Nonstop with Jonathan Scott. It does, and I actually have a musical version of it as well. Yeah, we're going to have Dennis write the whole song. Yeah. So you and Dennis met on a cruise ship?
Yeah. He was performing on it, and I was performing on it, and we were stuck on this floating barge for God knows how long. And on and off, I was doing a production show for Pizza Cruises, and Dennis was on and off and stuff like that. And that's really where I met him first. And then just coincidentally, we both ended up living here in Vegas.
But I'll just yell this. I woke. We had a 7 a.m. van meeting us in the lobby, and nobody's awake. And I get on the van, and I say hi to the piano player, who's one of the guest entertainers, and I go, "Adrian Smith."
I thought he was dead.
I went, "Hi."
It's so Franklin.
And we took the 1 hour trip, and then it was it. That's
Was
the
it
only-
Costa Rica?
Yeah, I think it was Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, the 1.5 hour trip through the jungle to San Jose, and then get on the plane to wherever else we had to go.
But that was just fun. Am I dreaming?
I'm sure those cruise ships are kind of like a dream.
Well, it is. You know, the funny thing about comedians is that, you know, excuse the pun, but they're funny animals. They're comedians. You get a group of them in one spot. Like all comedians would get together on a cruise ship for our, for breakfast or whatever it is. We didn't meet at the buffet or whatever it is. Maybe there were 2 or 3 comedians performing on that cruise,
Dennis.
and I'm the only non-comedian at the table, and they're constantly trying to win over the non-comedian with their material, and I felt like I was exhausted.
So sorry. I always meant to apologize to you for that.
Comedians do run in packs.
We do.
You're comfortable with other comedians, right?
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Well, did you ever go to Jerry's Deli in LA?
Absolutely.
Forget about it. Chuck McCann. Who's Chuck McCann?
Who's Johnny Dark? I think he's a friend on Facebook, but I've never met him.
You've never met Johnny Dark?
No.
Oh, he's
Hilarious.
Is he a Chicago guy?
Yeah.
He seems like a really nice
Oh,
person.
he's a great
And
guy.
a great table comedian who bids on
Oh
the
my
table.
God, yeah.
What's that? What's a table comedian?
The guy, Joe Ansis, who lived with Rodney Dangerfield, he's a table. He never performed for people, but he was hilarious at the table, like that, just hanging out.
Oh, a table comedian.
I first started experiencing the whole comedian thing, trying to get your attention, was when I used to visit Tom Greasy over at the Improv or whatever. And there were 10 of them, at the table.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm the only non-comedian. And, oh yeah, that's funny. Oh yeah, that's funny too. Yeah, that's funny. right. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. A big laugh for a comic is that's funny.
Again, we talked about Gilbert Gottfried earlier,
Love that.
and we would go to this thing called the Comics Lunch, and they would let me come along, and I would be the only non-stand-up comedian there. But I can hold my own okay with stories. I've been around comedians long enough, and David Brenner was one of the comedians that was just so quick, and there would be George Wallace. I have to mention George. George is always there. Anthony Cool, the hypnotist, kind of organized the thing, put it together. Carrot Top, and Gilbert, and again, I can't even remember who else was there. And Brad Carrot. And so can I say midget? A midget
We'll
woman.
find out.
And I guess I just did. So walks up to Gilbert and says, "Can I have my picture taken with you? I'm your biggest fan."
Oh,
And Brenner, without missing a beat, says, "Sure, hop up on the table."
oh,
And Brenner was just so fast. He was just so fast. But I've been on the other side of that equation with a table full of actors, where I'm the only non-actor guy. With our friend Joe Montana, who sends his regards with Joe the other day. Yeah, it's Joe. And I had a cigar magazine for years, and one time I was in LA at the Grand Banana Club, and it was Joe invited me to go. It was Joey Pants, Joe Pantaleone, Robert Davi.
Everybody has to be named Joe.
Everybody named Joey, Seymour Cassell. And Seymour Cassell came in, and a director named James Orr. I don't know if you probably know James. And I'm the only non-actor guy. And it was almost like similar to this cable comedian thing, which they all had the inside stuff. And Seymour Cassell was writing James Orr because he was Farrah Fawcett's boyfriend. And Farrah Fawcett and him had a little altercation, and they were calling him a wife beater. And Pants' wife just had a baby, and he's running around Grand Havana like Chico Marx, drinking tumblers of vodka. And again, I'm the only non-actor guy, like fly on the wall, like you are with the comedians and that. And I've heard some amazing cruise ship stories of what happens down on the cruise ship. The lower you get, the scarier you are.
Yeah, I still want to work for Princess
Well, I know Dennis has to get out of here for sound check,
I'm a good interview.
Adrian Zemed was born in Chicago, Illinois, the youngest of 3 sons, and I didn't know this, that your dad was a Romanian Orthodox priest.
Yes, he was right before the seminary and going right in the middle of DePaul University. Yeah. Now it's an empty, where the church was and the parish house. It's a back in the parking lot.
So this is Wikipedia also, so again, correct me if anything's wrong.
Wikipedia?
It's Wikipedia. I always like Wikipedia. Adrian graduated from Lane Tech. I had a neighbor named Larry Llewellyn. He was a drafting people.
Yes.
Yeah. My next door neighbor.
Get out of here. That's funny.
I didn't even know you played football.
That's what, when I started my knee problems, I started with that. Breaking my feet, my legs, and my knee. And I broke my, just above my right knee. Really bad. It wasn't a bite. Really?
And that's what turned you on to acting. You were like football like 40 years.
I was watching football. I suddenly wandered into at Lane Tech, I wandered into a study hall, and they were auditioning for guys and dolls. And my English teacher was the director, putting it together, and she said, hey, Smith, why don't you sing? Yeah. Being the son of an Orthodox priest, I sang in not only in the choir, but I also was a cantor in the church. So I sang since I was like 8 years old. Everything I sang, the Star Spangled Banner, and there it was. I said, hey, this is kind of a plus. Lane Tech was an all-guy high school at that time. And this was a way to meet chicks. This was a way to meet girls. We imported them from all of the girls' Catholic high schools. Immaculata. It was just, so that was the way to meet girls, too. So that's why I did it. And I said, you know what? I'm kind of good at this. I think I'm going to stop football and pick up about football.
And then you moved out to go to the Goodman?
Yeah, I went to the Goodman. That's where I studied.
Goodman School of Drama.
Yeah.
Got a bachelor's from Goodman, and then your first major acting gig, the very first one, was Danny Zuko.
I guess officially, I really got my entry card at the Candlelight Theater in Chicago. And I did fantastic. That's why I actually got my entry card that way, but I really didn't get paid well until I did Danny Zuko in one of the national tours of the original production tours.
Adrian reached celebrity status as Officer Romano in ABC's T.J. Hooker.
Yeah, Mean Bill.
Played Fred Feliciano in Victims for Victims. I don't remember any of that.
Oh, that was an amazing. It was a television movie. On TV, and it was the story of Teresa Saldana, the actress that was the wife of Joe Pesci in Raging Bull, and it's a very famous happening in Hollywood. There was a stalker that was stalking her from Scotland and eventually found her in LA and stabbed her 17 times as she was getting into her car, and she survived. And it was a Sparkletts water delivery man that saved her life, jumped in the car, and somehow she lived and did this movement called Victims for Victims. And it's a remarkable it was not only a remarkable journey for her because she was playing herself, going to the locations that she experienced this whole thing, like being stabbed on the street where it all happened. I felt like I was living the entire thing with her for the 2 months that we shot this movie. And she created an organization called Victims for Victims. And it was a big awakening for me in that the people who commit the crimes have more rights than the victims. And that organization she started had a lot to do with a lot of policy changes and how victims are being treated to this day. It's a
I'm going to try and find it somewhere.
yeah, it was one of the most intense movies I've ever done.
I know you've done hundreds of television shows, but here's a few of them. Hotel, Empty Nest, Murder, She Wrote, Caroline in the City. You left T.J. Hooker in 1985 when the show moved to CBS, choosing instead to replace Danny Terrio as the host of Dance Fever for its final 2 seasons.
I know the song Dance Man was a bit. First of all, Hooker was canceled officially, and the day after it was canceled, I was offered this position by Mary Griffin. And I had done many guest spots on the Mary Griffin show. So he knew that I could sing and dance and do everything. I wanted to replace that at the time, and I jumped on it. And then the next thing I knew, Hooker, about 2 or 3 weeks later, was picked up by CBS for late night to finish the syndication package. It was only 13 episodes.
So you went back there?
Well, I would have, but I had already agreed to do the deal with Dance Fever, and I couldn't do the both of them.
Now, I think you told me that you've done performances of Grease more than any other actor.
I have.
You hold that record.
Not only as performance of Grease, but as Danny Fever. I did the original back in the 70s and 80s, and then I did the Tom Cruise live. I probably have about 11 years of doing Danny Zipper and all that.
What about Saturday Night Live? For that story. You on Saturday Night Live? Well, here's a story that I like. That's in Chicago, the Bozo story. Hey, that's me!
That's people don't know if you're not from Chicago that for some
Well,
reason
Bozo was in different cities.
it was syndicated in different cities all over the country.
And there was a different Bozo.
Back in the 50s, and then it kind of went over into the 60s. But it never lasted as long as it did in Chicago. It lasted until the 80s.
It was a hot
in
ticket.
Chicago.
You had to wait 2 years to get your kid at Bozo.
It was at a certain point. It was 10 years. There was a 10-year waiting list to get your kid. If you were dating in high school, you'd put your requested for tickets in case you got married and had a kid.
And what was the band leader? What was your role?
No. What I ended up doing was I hosted the NBA telethon in Chicago for many years, and the same producer of the NBA telethon, WGN, was the producer of Grease, of the Bozo.
Right.
And he had a 35th anniversary special coming up and asked me to be in it. I said, to beat my childhood, heroes, remastered Ned,
With the lumpy head.
Oliver, the Cookie Clown, or Bozo, and all that. And I could get, it was a prime time, nighttime, 1 hour special that I did. And I basically played myself, and they transformed me into a clown during the episode. So, and then Cookie had a heart attack during the regular season, and he said, how do you feel about helping us replacing Cookie for about 6 weeks? So I actually did that.
You did?
Yeah. I played AZ.
AZ. Adrian Zemet.
And it was like, I was a clown in training is what I was.
Clown. I think I'm still a clown in training.
Yeah.
Did one of them go to jail? One of the clowns, something shady, I think, happened.
I can see that they could have had spent a little time.
I think one of them was drinking backstage. I remember somebody Googled that and sent us an email at News One
I'm
Las
not
Vegas.
sure who it was, but it's possible.
One of them was drunk all the time. I had heard that one of the clowns had a drinking.
You
don't want to
I
blasphemize
don't say because I work with dogs and I love them.
You know what WGN stood for? You really don't know? World's greatest newspaper. It's Review.
I did know that.
All right. We're going to take a one short break. You're watching Vegas Nonstop, and you might be watching on Hey Vegas, or you might be listening on iHeartRadio, or you might be listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and wherever else that our technical geek Chris Davis puts us. And we're going to take a short commercial break and talk about NFL with Adrian and our friend Tom White. So stay right where you is.